I didn't want to go there because I figured I'd be going to the Pacific. So when I went to the medical field service school, about that time, about a week after I got called, a parachute medical officer came to all the classes. There were 1,600 doctors there. And he came to all the classes, and he was looking for volunteers. So he told us that he would be at the gym that night, and he would see anybody. He would explain there'd be a film and everything else. So out of those 1,600 doctors, 400 showed up. And they had the film, and then there was about 100 left after that. After he showed all the paraphernalia for jumping, it left 12. Out of those 12, 4 were taken, and I was one of them. But because I went there on that night, my orders were changed completely, and I was sent to parachute school. And when D-Day came, we were sent to Folkingham Air Base. And everybody got ready there to putting black stuff on their faces. And one plane exploded because a bundle exploded, killed a few of our men. That was a bad setback. Then we got going, and early in the morning, I'd say, well, no, it was late at night, 11 o'clock at night. And we went south to the Guernsey and Jersey Islands, saw a submarine light over there, and you turned left, went across the peninsula, Normandy Peninsula, and we were dropped at about 2 o'clock. And believe me, we were hit by everything else but the kitchen sink. You can't imagine the maelstrom of activity when you're dropping out of a plane at about 500 feet, 17 feet per second, and you don't know where you are or what, but you see planes crashing down, staccato rhythm from the fires, the cannons and everything else. I wasn't afraid, I was just apprehensive, that's all. And I could see these blue and tan bullets coming by. I was moving my feet to get away from them and all that. So I went right through an apple tree. Had a lousy way to land, but I landed on my feet, my rear end. So I could see this guy coming with his rifle and going slowly, you know. And I said to myself, I better do something about this. If I don't protect myself, I'll kill him. He's going to kill me, and there's a lot of people depending on me. So I put the knife down to my boot, and I waited for him to get there, and I gave him the password. And he started to back so slow, I nearly was coming up on him. So he was a new replacement, and he seemed to be awfully nervous, so I told him, follow where it was going, and I'd take care of myself. I had 3 medics with me, so they took care of putting the men where they belonged, and then the casualties began to come in. I was working for 3 days and 2 nights without stopping, carrying litters, taking care of the wounded, all kinds of wounded. And I laid down at 4 o'clock in the morning on the 3rd night, and they woke me up again at 2 because so many casualties were coming in, and there was no other doctor. The only other doctor was from my regiment, but he had a wound in his hip, and he couldn't help at all, of course. So we started to take care of them, and as I said, I just lay down, they woke me up again. I tried to get up, and I could not get up. I couldn't hold my head up. I had to roll off the bunk, and then grab the end, and then bring myself up. So that, to this day, I've got fused vertebrae. After that, I strapped more, I made splints on these people. So they were evacuating 4 instead of 10, so I had more and more able-bodied men left that they didn't know about. But I wanted to let the 82nd Airborne know, let the Army know anyway, that we were there. So I collected a lot of sheets. I got them from the hospital from this German medic of mine, Frank Ruppy, and we went out maybe 200 yards south of the hospital in a field, and we set up sheets like this, layers of them, making two like this at a peak with a mark down the middle, two AAs, then we put bricks and made a cross with bricks, and then another two AAs, which signified American troops, 82nd Airborne medical installation. And believe it or not, a plane came by, a P-38, and I waved at it, we waved at it, and it dipped its wings. 3 years after I came back out of the Army, I met a fellow lawyer. He was going to take care of my business, and I mentioned that to him because he'd been a flyer. So he said, do you remember anything like you ever hear anybody tell you that? He said, that was me. That was me. He said, I saw that. I'm the guy who dipped the wings. That day we were advancing a little bit further, and too fast in fact, because the Germans were raining cannon shots on us, and the Americans were dropping their shells also. So we had with us a first lieutenant and a sergeant. The sergeant had on his field radio, big batteries, and the lieutenant called back to headquarters, lift your fire. We're ahead of the other troops that should be even with us. And they did, but unfortunately the Germans were listening. And when they saw that, they knew where we were, where we was. And an 88 shell dropped among us. I was flat on my stomach trying to dig under myself with a couple of other officers and enlisted men. And the shell exploded, and right after it did, I looked up and I saw a head in a helmet going up in the air into the next field. It was the sergeant. We had the field radio. And the lieutenant was dead, and a good friend of mine, Captain Brannon, was saying, how can I live with my guts hanging out? And I crawled over to him and I examined him, and I could see that he was spurting blood from his left thigh. I put a bandage on that, a good tight bandage, and I said, Mal, you're not bleeding from your abdomen. I looked at his abdomen, he was all contused from the battery, the big battery that hit him in the abdomen, so he thought that his guts were hanging out. He had his hand over like that. The following day was a very sad day for me because I left the man I had made a good friendship with. He's the man in this picture, Lieutenant Lehman. And he was hit by shrapnel, he dropped to the ground. Colonel Mendez, the battalion commander, picked him up, put him on his shoulder, and was trying to get him out of the way when a sniper shot Lehman on the colonel's shoulder.